Guys, it's Wisdom, and I'm back with another one. So, today I wanted to talk about why you need to be still and give your faith and your trust back to God. So, a lot of times when you might be going through something, you might be having a hard time, you might be struggling, whatever the case, you will might have this thing where you try to control everything. Okay, you try to fix everything, you try to make something work on your own. But a lot of times in life, you are only struggling because you are doing it all on your own. Okay, it's time for us to go back to the Lord. It's time for us to accept Christ back into our heart so that we can actually get the help here that we need. We can actually move forward. We can actually have peace. Okay, a lot of times, right? We are just down here struggling, we suffering, we having all these things, all these issues. God can heal you from the inside. Okay, He can give you a peace that no man can give you. All right, a lot of times we put our peace, we put our faith, we put our truth in man, right? Other people. You might have faith in the government. I mean, at this point, I don't think you should. You might have faith in, things that you can see, but sometimes it's hard to have faith in things that you can't see. But it's time to go back to the Lord. It's time to come back. Okay. When you are out here fighting and you're struggling and you're having a tug of war, there is no end to that. You will be struggling and fighting and having a tug of war for the rest of your life. Okay. God brings peace. God brings love. God brings joy. So things could still be awry around you, but you won't worry about it anymore. You won't be frantic anymore. You won't be up in arms about anything anymore. You'll realize that you're coasting. You're coasting with life. And so that is the only type of peace that God can bring. Okay? Only God can bring that type of peace. So I wanted to urge you, if you're going through something, if you're stressed out, if you're having a really hard time, life is really getting to you, or even if you just feel empty inside, I really urge you that you come back to the Lord. Okay, you give your life to Christ and you accept Him in your heart. All right, because the love and the peace that you get from having God in your life is unmatched. Okay, it's nothing like anything anybody can explain to you, and it's nothing like anything that you can even imagine. All right, things that I used to stress about, things that I used to um, really just allow to affect my day, affect my mood, affect how I feel. It doesn't even do that anymore. It might get to you, but if the pain level was at a 10, now the pain might be at a 2 or a 3. It just cannot get to me as much. So, a lot of people is out here suffering. A lot of people is having a hard time with things in their life, and they need to realize that you need God in your life. Okay, a life without God is void and empty. All right. And I know, a lot of us think that we're good or we don't need them in our life, but we do. And you'll realize that a lot of things that you're going through, right? Sometimes God is trying to talk. A lot of times when you are, having like a lot of issues, God could be trying to wake you up. He could be trying to pull you closer to Him. Right. So sometimes things are happening for us to call back on God. How many times do you realize that when you go through something hard, right? You find your way back to God. A lot of times God is trying to get your attention and you aren't hearing it. You aren't seeing it. But you have to realize that He is real. Okay, and He sees you and He wants to help you and He loves you. Okay, you are His child. He wants to help you. But He cannot come. A lot of times people expect God to just intervene in their life, and that's not really how God works. We have to ask for His help. We have to ask Him to come into our life and fix things. Okay. You will not be out on this earth. You will not be here having just a disastrous time, struggling down out bad, if you are asking God to come into your life, asking Him to fix things, asking Him to move in your life. Okay. A lot of times too, when things are when we do ask God to come into our life, when we do ask Him to help us, and we start to notice things go like a wire, right? It starts to just go crazy. You'll think, well, what's going on? Well, what's happening is that God is removing everything that's in your life that's not supposed to be. So a lot of times when we do ask God to help us and come into our life, and it's just a mess, it's because you might have a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of habits, just a lot of things in your life that God don't want in your life anymore. It's keeping you right where you at. It's keeping you stuck. So you have to release that control and you have to let God do what he's supposed to do. Okay, a lot of us try to play God in our own lives. A lot of us want to be a God in a sense, but we need to give that control back over to him. We need to give that control and that power back over to him. You know, it's easier said than done, right? When you can't see things happen in the physical, you cannot see something physically changing, you cannot see something physically happening. But when you pray and you believe, right, and you sit still, something is happening. So I just urge you today to, get back closer to God, pray, talk to him. And I'm telling you, when you the more time you start to spend with God, even if you just talk to him, you just have conversations with him, just regular, right? If you talk to yourself, you just say, "Hey, God, I'm talking to you today," and you just talk to him. That's all he wants, really. He wants a relationship with you. He wants to get in your life so he can tell you what you need to be doing. Okay, a lot of us think that success and good things and happiness aren't for us, but it is for us. God has all that for you, but you just have to have trust and faith, right? That if you follow him, you put your faith back in him, right? Because a lot of people have lost their faith in God. A lot of people have lost their faith in God because of the way the world is, because of things that's going on. A lot of people have just lost faith in God. But we have to come back to the source. We have to come back to Christ, and we have to realize that he is the only thing, right? He is the only thing that can help us in this time. So put your faith back into God. Put your trust back into him. And yes, it's going to take some blind trust, right? It's going to take some blind faith. Faith that you cannot see physically what he's doing, but he's always moving in your life. And if you talk to him, and if you acknowledge him, and if you ask him to help you and come into your life, he will. Trust me. Take it from me. I was, I was lost. Okay. I was lost for a long time. And so, God can wake anybody up. All right. So I hope this message helped you today. I urge you to come back to God, give God your life. Let him work in your life. Let him give you the things of your heart. Let him bring those desires to life. Okay. So I hope this helped. All right. I'm Wisdom. This is Wisdom Talks, and I will see you in the next talk.